Everyone, welcome. This is NorCam Weekly. It is, I believe today is, what is today? The 29th. Yes, it's the 29th. It's May 29th. I think this is the 6th episode. And I'm Phil Healy, the Public Access Coordinator for NorCam, North Reading Public Access. And with me is
Jason Smith, Government Access Coordinator.
As always. And Jason, we have actually a pretty crazy week coming up next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have, what was it, town meeting?
First on Monday, it's town meeting. And then later in the week, Friday, it's graduation.
Yep.
So.
And in between, we have a show, Face the Facts is recording on Wednesday, and we have a couple things in between.
Studio shoots and stuff like that. But usually that's
enough.
It's a big undertaking just for one of those, but to have both of them in the same week.
On the same week. It's kind of crazy, and it kind of crept up on us, because I actually didn't know. I won't be able to cover a graduation, because I actually, one of my wife's best friends having a wedding they're the day after, and I was like, oh, I never, in my head, I had never
connected the dots.
Yeah, like, oh, the 5th, yeah, that's just a date. It's like I never really kind of bumbling around like, oh yeah, so this is gonna come to a hilt.
It's all right. Me and Rob will be there though. Hopefully it's outside. I can cross my finger.
Hopefully, knock on wood, it'll be a beautiful day for it. We've covered both outdoor and indoor.
2 years ago indoor, last year outdoors, but it's nice because you get we stand on the top of that
the press box,
and you just take in all that cold air.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. It's nice. It's nice because you can actually see also past the town a little bit, and it's actually pretty good. I am remiss to say we have with us the lovely executive director of the North Reading Chamber of Commerce, Lisa Egan. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Aw, that's the first time I said thank you.
This is the first time we've had a person outside of our
guest it's very true.
Circle of NorCam.
Yeah.
We've had Jackson. Rob obviously was on the show a couple weeks ago.
And Rob's right a couple doors down, so that's not much. Yeah. And Jackson we kind of wrangled in.
We're like, here, you're coming to do the show.
Yeah, we're going to prove that people are here.
But yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's awesome to have somebody else from the town representing, talking about different subjects.
Yeah, and I apologize for I should have closed the windows in the back, but you'll have not a lot, but some outdoor noise because we don't have our AC on yet, so all windows are up. And up, and we're just trying to get in the breeze. But it's not as bad as yesterday. And once again, Lisa, thank you for coming. And please enlighten us. Tell us your thoughts, and just in general, what is the North Reading Chamber of Commerce?
Sure. First, the Chamber of Commerce promotes the town in many ways. So because we're local and because I'm a local resident, we're very invested in seeing North Reading and Reading succeed. And part of that is making sure the downtowns or the, economic conditions in the town, whether it's up and down 28 or around North Reading, is vibrant. So we like to support the businesses through educational events and networking. There's nothing more depressing than driving through a town and seeing a lot of closed signs and storefronts. I really enjoy it because you not only are connected to the community, but you work with the town government and the school department and just get ideas from all sorts of residents and people who not only live but work here too to try to how to make it better. And I really like that community involvement. I did a fair amount of volunteering in the town of Reading before I took this job in terms of working on improving some of the parks and local recreation spaces. So it's a great way to kind of dovetail fundraising and event planning and community work and also improving where I already live. So it's nice because I feel very invested in the whole area.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing too. Like you said, just being there and able to kind of inflict change on, in a positive sense, on where you are. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So have you found, what have you found has been kind of the best or a more effective way of kind of keeping, I like you use the term vibrant. Like what has been the most effective way in your estimation of keeping North Reading businesses, both locally and because you more or less deal with locally owned, not necessarily the larger companies?
Well, I would like to get in with the larger companies more. I think there's probably a little more membership within the small businesses, which I love to see, and we value that, and we want that to continue. But I do think there's some really big employers in the area that I would like to talk to now that I'm getting more settled into the position, because I feel like if you're a local company, whether you have a storefront or you're in the manufacturing business, you're employing people right here or from right down the road. So I think it's important they have kind of skin in the game as to what's going on, because things like whether it's snow removal or tax, dual tax rates, whether businesses get taxed differently than residents. There's a lot of issues that go on that I think affect the community. And I would like, one of my goals is to try to approach some of the bigger companies because, a Walmart certainly is invested in the community. And I think it's an important thing that they at least be approached to join the chamber.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm planning on doing in the short term. We're updating all of our marketing materials now.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a marketing background, so I wanted to kind of update them so people can really see the value of what's in it for the business to join the chamber. Because some people have really successful businesses and they get a lot of street traffic and a lot of people come in, and maybe they're not as interested in going into like a networking event or an educational event.
Sure.
But they still care about things like if their tax rate changes or if the parking laws change or if something's rezoned and suddenly, their business is out of compliance or whatever it might be, sign laws. All that kind of stuff doesn't seem like a big deal, but it does affect all of the, just the local climate and, things like street signs and flags and those little, I can't think of the name of it, those little signs that people put on the sidewalk. Like the little tent things. I apologize. I can't think of the word. Anyways, signage and publicity, all that kind of thing is important.
Oh.
And, I know that with the boom of free shipping and Amazon, and it is great and it's very convenient, but I think it would be awful if our only choices are like huge company, multinational companies, and Amazon. There'll be no local places. So we do try to come up with campaigns to drive people locally to remember if you need a teacher gift or, a Girl Scout leader gift or your baseball coach or graduation, First Communion, Father's Day. Those are all good reasons to come and shop locally. And try to think of the local people who pay tax dollars and who help contribute to the wonderful schools here in town. Whether it's like Brisante, they're a great store, a retail store right here in North Reading with a local person who owns it, and they have beautiful things. So I try to make an effort, not only my personal life, but with my friends or if I'm going out, I want to, eat or shop or just spend money right here locally because it does make a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, Brisante actually is we actually, one of our former patch writers, we had a show here they did, and we went, one of the episodes we went to Brisante. So that you can actually find that on YouTube if you want. I've written that, I forget what the name of the patch show was that we did with Ashley. Do you remember it?
They did a best of the Readings. Was it recently? I know last episode was like award winners from local businesses, which was really cool.
Town Talk, thank you. Yeah. Town Talk with the patch. It was actually a couple years ago because Ashley wrote for the patch a couple years back. She's actually with Fox 25 right now, wackily enough. But no, we went to Brisante, and I had no idea.
Right, you can almost need like a reason to get in there. But I think it's hard habits to change because we're all at our computers or we're on our phones, and it's click, click, and a gift can be delivered right to your house. But I think it's so nice to have local options, not only to eat but to shop. Another thing we did recently through the towns was to bring like insurance professionals to come speak to just the community about ice dams because that was such a huge issue for so many people.
This winter especially, yeah.
Exactly. So, we had Mike Linnane come as well as an insurance provider from Reading. We invited all insurance members to present. And we had a group of about 30 people and they all shared their stories. And they had a lot of really good questions about, what do I do? What's the next step? My insurance company isn't calling me back. And a couple of people had very moving stories about them having issues in their garage where they couldn't even open the door to use the car that was in the garage because of a structural problem caused by ice dams, but they were waiting for 5 weeks for someone to show up to inspect the safety of that area of their house, and they were so frustrated, understandably so. But it was very interesting, and it really illuminated why if you have a local provider, such as like a Mike Linnane or one of the other many great people locally, they're going to be accountable. You can walk right into their office. They're not going to just put you on hold for 20 minutes. And this woman was just talking about how she probably, picked a place that she saw in a magazine, but now was like really wanting to switch immediately because it's that accountability and the investment when you're a local person, that you're going to do right by them and follow up and not drop the ball. And To this point, I think a while ago, it used to be more expensive to go locally, but now it's not the case. It's a very level playing field for goods or services. So,
And like you can't drop the ball like you're saying it because you're going to have to see that person face to face within the community.
Right.
Also, it's the human touch, as we like to say.
That's right.
I mean, there's a warmth to business that there's sometimes people. I think it's just a cold transaction, where in fact, like the exchange of goods and services and ideas should. I mean, there's a great localization of it, and think local act globally kind of thing. As the hippie in me will say, just get back to those roots and just know, especially like what was it, farm shares as well. I know this is kind of maybe outside your purview a little bit, but I'm sure you know of certain farm shares in the area, or even like local produce. Like, is Calaruso's technically Reading or is that Stoneham?
It's technically Reading.
Technically Reading.
But I know along those lines that the North Reading indoor farmers market is starting soon. And they have Farmer Dave's, which I've actually been a member of. They have a community shared agriculture CSA.
Yeah.
And, it's great. And that's another kind of thing that the Chamber likes to do is we will promote that kind of things within the community. It's just another way to get the word out because sometimes you think, I need whatever for a salad or for dinner. And it's nice to be able to go and get, either organic or locally produced produce. It's very fresh, very tasty. And it's a farmer right down the road in Drake it. So that's something that we do. We do like every other week, we do like a membership newsletter, which has all the promotions of what's going on. So it might be a sale for Father's Day. I know we have information on the indoor farmers market. And then any business that's a part of the chamber can send me an email and I'll send it out in a blast. I don't forward them all individually because then I think you'd get like 30 emails a week and then no one would read them. Yeah. So that's why we consolidate it and people know to look for it and they can kind of get all their local information and just another way to promote what's going on in town.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is there a site people can go to just to check out the chamber?
Yes, absolutely. It's www.Reading, like Reading, North Reading, chamber.org.
Yeah, and you can just Google it as well if you can't find it. No, that's great. And anything else coming up that any events or anything?
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's a lot going on in North Reading, so I think it's really exciting with the new Economic Development Committee and stuff forming downtown.
I remember over the last year or so, they've been kind of.
Yeah, I think the people on it were just appointed recently, and I spoke to the chairman a week or two ago, and I know that they're working a lot on the J.T. Berry parcel. There's a lot happening and a lot of conversation about, a big piece of land and what's going to, is there an opportunity to develop it and what would be the most attractive? Is it a marketplace or is it a mixed use housing or is it retail? Some combination of the above. I know we were also involved in the economic development I forget what it's called, Strategic Action Committee. It was called EDSAT. And they had someone come in from the Dukakis Center from BU and basically do a really thorough review of North Reading and what are its strengths and weaknesses and where are the opportunities to grow and what are the areas to improve. And it was very reassuring about how, the town has great house values and retail. Real estate in general is very strong, but maybe the town could improve their marketing materials or maybe make their website a little bit more user-friendly. And he had a lot of really specific examples and data points on that. So those are the kind of things that are great to see because the town is doing like a self-reflection process on the economics and how can you drive more people here and how can you develop some of the land along 28 in addition to thinking about creating a town center in time.
Which you don't really have. I mean, North Reading doesn't necessarily have that that center. I guess.
Right
down
here is pretty similar. It's definitely, that you've got the Common, you've got a lot of beautiful historic buildings, and you've got the high school in Ryers, but there's not.
Or a retailing center, I guess.
Yeah, I think that this would be an area, and I know I've worked with Danielle McKnight, the town planner, and we talk often about grants they're looking towards to try to maybe identify an area of town to make like the town center, whether it's right here or on 28, as well as looking into maybe slowing down parts of 28 and
that's
making
interesting.
just a little bit less busy, so it's a little more walkable and a little bit friendlier.
Kind of like the center.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
North-
Andover's done
yeah,
it. Reading did
Andover,
it about
Reading.
10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, Reading was, yeah.
That's-
Stoneham, you know, if you go
Oh,
up
yeah.
and down,
Yeah.
it's all very good things, and I know there's a lot
Yeah.
of people who want to see the town do well, and I think that there's a lot of cool opportunities and programs happening.
Yeah. Well, I've been petitioning for a red light district for a while. I don't know if anyone.
I don't think the chamber can take that issue on for you.
Oh well, I'll bring it to somebody. Some sucker with a bag of money. No, that's very wow. That's very great. That's more than I thought I was gonna get. That's amazing. And that's actually a very interesting point about slowing down 28, because you don't hear that necessarily.
You don't think about it, but
Yeah.
there are very few like traffic lights even between certain areas, and you just
Yeah.
zip down.
Yeah,
the
it can
road.
be a bit of a speedway, and even
Yeah.
if you've got great stores like Brisante, or
Yeah.
I also love the Pat Lee's Horseshoe Grill. Sorry,
Oh,
it didn't
yeah,
come to
Horseshoe-
me for a second.
no, but
that's
you-
one of like my
yeah.
favorite family places, and maybe I'm gonna go across to like play it against sports, but
Yep.
really it's kind of busy even with a light
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know, if I have my family enjoying cornbread and then we want to go over and buy a soccer ball, you
Yeah.
know, those are the kind of things I'm thinking about.
That's a good point. And even Versante is kind of like nestled into this corner, because there are a couple of stores. There's like I think there's like a hair salon or
Yes.
nail salon, and there's a couple other stores there. And it's just kind of like nestled in that place where it's tough to kind of get in. Because like on 28, like you really either, if you don't know where you are, you have to drive by it maybe once or twice.
Yep.
And then you'll turn around, do that kind of doohickey. But then it's also, I think we should get 2 or 4 more tire places in that
Oh,
area
really?
before we have like, there's like 8 already.
I know,
Um,
I know. We actually just did a grand opening for Firestone.
Oh yeah. Is that doing all right, or is that?
Yeah, it seems to be really busy, and I have to say they're very community minded. They had like a Friday through Sunday free food all weekend long, and
wow.
all these giveaways.
Time to go to Firestone.
Yeah, so head to Firestone. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll leave with like an auto repair kit that you'll be glad is in the back of your car someday.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple other quick things is
Oh,
that
sure,
we
sure.
we always have social events, and they're
Oh,
free.
nice.
So I thought I'd mention
Free,
those.
you
Yes,
say.
free is a word that people
right.
like. Our
Yeah.
next one is at Joe Fish on June
lovely.
10th. And it's from 5:30 to 7:30. You don't need to be a member of the chamber to come. Anyone is welcome. And we always have free complimentary appetizers and a cash bar. But it's a nice way to kind of meet new people, both within Reading, North Reading, and really anyone from local towns are also most welcome. But they've been extremely well attended. We had we usually alternate Reading and North Reading. So in March we went to Great American Tavern. It was still really pretty darn chilly out. We must have had 55 people there. Like I would have
wow.
gotten the bigger room.
Yeah.
So I would welcome everyone to stop
It's not
by.
a bad place
Joe
either.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah, Great American
yeah,
Tavern.
It's great.
Yeah. That's
It's
right down.
fun.
They're all right down the road too.
Exactly, and you know, it's a great way for them to also kind of show off their food and their environment. And you know, I know you get in there and then you're like, oh, I think I'll stop by for dinner there someday. And another thing we're doing within the chamber is we are creating a women's networking program, and that's regional. So it's not just Reading, North Reading. It's also Wakefield, Linfield, Stoneham, and Melrose. So it's a nice way for people to trade contacts and make connections, but also share best practices, like my website is breaking, or you know, who do you
Yeah.
use for this, or where do you get your signs made or your cards printed. And you know, everyone has those kinds of shared concerns when you work in business, so we're trying to bring that group together. We had one in February, and again, it was Arctic out, and we had 65 women come.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So that's at Harrington's on June 17th. Harrington's in Wakefield.
Oh yeah, right by actually another. I can only tell you from old Italian grocers. That's
Yes.
my reference for everything in these towns.
Yeah, that
Like,
farmland is
farmland
right
and
around the
counters,
corner
yep.
there. And that is an event that I think is $10 per person, and we recommend people register because the last one was such a big show, and we think it might actually sell out. But it should be really fun, and it's a very social group.
Yeah.
Like I said, our after hours have been great. We'll be doing them every month. And then during the year, we do a lot of educational events as well, whether it's like we did one on the ice dams. We've done things on small business administration, resources for job seekers,
And
job
this is open to
hunters.
everyone, right?
Yeah, it's open to
Alright.
anyone. So we do try to do a lot of events. And even if you're not a member, we usually have a nominal cost, like maybe $10, really just to cover our day-to-day expenses, because we are a nonprofit.
Preach it.
Yeah.
We know what it's like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we do try to do a lot in the community, and we welcome people's involvement. Absolutely.
No, that's beautiful. I mean, I think it's great that you get not just you get non-members involved too, because I think even if you're not a member, you can see what the chamber is doing and appreciate what it is, and take advantage of the services you guys are trying to provide. It's all about providing communication.
Absolutely. We have many non-members who will come to every single after hours event. They've been very, very popular, which is great. I think people want to get out. They want to, chat. It's low stakes. It's not very formal. It's casual, and you can stop by at your convenience if you're free that night.
Maybe.
So
What do you think?
You guys should come.
Yeah.
Joe Fish on the 10th.
Joe Fish on the 10th. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And that's not this coming Wednesday, but the
It's the
Wednesday
following.
after, following Wednesday. Well, good. Oh, something's happening. That's a notification. Well, thank you, Lisa, for showing up, for coming by. I was going to say showing up, because that reflects pretty much my relationship with every other executive director. Because we haven't had, we were talking earlier, I forget if I said, but we haven't had any director come by. But finally, Lisa, you are here.
Yes, and I'll be back now that I
Yeah,
know where I'm going and
Hooray.
I'm settled in.
Yeah.
I needed a good 6 months on the job before I felt like I could, speak with authority. So now we're here, and I know where to find you.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming down. And the only real thing we can end with, just next week's kind of crazy. This week wasn't too bad. Actually, it was kind of lax, but we had people come in, do their
As
thing.
we speak for
Yeah, we're
classes.
actually in a couple minutes we'll be teaching some classes, possibly to someone who might be real or might not be real. We
Fictional
don't know. Yes. But yeah. What do you got?
mystery video. I don't know if we should be
Oh
talking
yeah, no,
about
that's
it.
right. This is so
We just-
bizarre.
We found it on a VHS.
Yeah.
We think we have an idea what it is. We put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, for the internet to kind
You
of
know, People
take
can get
apart.
an idea what it is. I don't know.
It freaks me out every time I watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure we should be talking about it.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll check it out. It's one of our newly uploaded. What is the title of
I believe
the?
it's called
the
the
third-
Max Headroom Incident. The
Okay.
third one.
Oh,
the
fair
third
enough.
Max Headroom.
Yeah.
Max Headroom. Well, it's a very interesting story. Went into check out last episode for people who are not familiar. And Lisa, thank you again. We'll hopefully be in touch about teaching anyone on the chamber how to do a podcast or just do a show here to tell everyone what's going on every other
Absolutely.
month. But all right, guys.
You're most welcome.
Oh, lovely.
Hope to see you at Joe Fish.
Yeah, we'll try.
Definitely.
Oh, the pressure's on.
I know.
Thank you very much. And Jason, anything you'd like to add? Or?
That'll be it for me.
Yeah, everything is looking fine. Not a big week as far as programming, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for listening.